Patriots Nation, the week leading into the biggest game of the season is already moving fast, and every small decision coming out of New England feels amplified. Even the moves that do not jump off the screen end up carrying weight when the Super Bowl is on the horizon. The Patriots quietly added the players to the practice squad. And while these are not headline signings for the active roster, they tell a deeper story about preparation, depth, and experience as the organization gets ready for Super Bowl 60. These additions were made after a couple of practice squad changes earlier in the week, opening spots that the team decided not to leave unused in a moment like this. Nothing is accidental. Every transaction is calculated, especially when the calendar says Super Bowl week. The Patriots understand that having the right bodies, the right voices, and the right experience around the building can matter just as much as what happens between the lines on game day. One of the names brought back into the mix is a familiar one for anyone who has followed the team closely this season. Trent Sherfield is back once again, continuing a short but eventful stretch. With New England, he has already spent time with the Patriots recently, was let go, and now finds himself returning to the practice squad. This is not about making waves or changing the offensive identity. It is about maintaining depth at the wide receiver position and having someone who already knows the system, the terminology, and the expectations inside the building. Sherfield has seen game action this season and has bounced around enough to understand how quickly things can change at this stage of the year. For the Patriots, keeping him around is a low-risk move that adds familiarity and flexibility. The practice squad wide receiver room now has another experienced option who can step in during practices, help simulate opponents, and be ready if an emergency situation arises. No one is pretending this is a splash move, but in February football, stability has value. The second edition feels different, not because of flashy numbers, but because of what he represents. Patrick Johnson arrives with years in the league and, more importantly, exposure to deep postseason runs. He has lined up on the edge, worked as an outside linebacker, and done the dirty work that does not always show up in box scores. His career numbers are modest, but his experience matters far more than his stat line right now. Johnson has been part of a defensive culture that understands what the Super Bowl week really feels like. The long days, the endless media obligations, the change in routine, and the mental strain that comes with preparing for the biggest stage in the sport can overwhelm younger players. New England does not have many players who have lived through that environment before, and adding someone who can quietly help steady the room at 28 years old, Johnson brings a veteran presence into a locker room that features several key contributors who are new to this moment. His role is not about playing time expectations or being elevated on game day. It is about sharing perspective, helping teammates manage their week, and reinforcing the level of focus required. When everything around you feels louder than usual, the Patriots have already begun to experience that intensity. The first practices of Super Bowl preparation are underway, and the atmosphere is noticeably different. Cameras are everywhere, schedules are tighter, and every comment at the podium is dissected. The team has been balancing on-field work with media responsibilities, and that balancing act will only get tougher as the days pass. In the opening practice, a handful of players were not on the field, drawing immediate attention. Some absences were expected, others raised eyebrows, but the conversation quickly centered on the quarterback position. Anytime a quarterback is listed with a shoulder concern, even a minor one, it becomes the dominant storyline. That was no different here, as questions immediately followed about how the quarterback was feeling and whether the issue would linger from the coaching staff. The message was calm and measured. The focus remained on preparation, not panic. The approach has been to take the week step by step, concentrating on daily objectives instead of worrying about what might happen at the end of the road. That mindset is intentional, designed to keep the team grounded during a week that can easily spiral into distraction. On the field, the quarterback moved comfortably, took part in the plan for the day, and showed no visible signs of limitation. Off the field, he addressed the questions head-on, explaining that he felt good, was progressing normally, and trusted the process that has carried him to this point. It was the response you expect from a player who understands the moment, but refuses to let it overwhelm him. Still, the reality of Super Bowl week is that the same questions will keep coming. Every media session, every availability, and every appearance brings another round of curiosity that can wear on players. Especially those experiencing it for the first time, this is where having veterans around, even on the practice squad, can make a subtle difference in keeping the locker room steady and focused. While much of the attention remains fixed on the quarterback, there is another situation on the defensive side of the ball that carries real weight: a key leader. Someone who wears the green dot and serves as the voice of the defense is dealing with an ankle issue that has kept him off the practice field. Unlike the quarterback, his absence is tangible, and his role is not easily replaced. He is a tone setter against the run, a reliable tackler, and a communicator who keeps everyone aligned. When a player like that is sidelined, even temporarily, it forces the defense to adjust. The lack of clear updates has only added to the concern, especially with limited time remaining before the biggest game of the year, as the Patriots continue through this intense stretch. The contrast is clear. Some storylines are louder than they need to be, while others quietly loom with real potential impact. The additions to the practice squad, the management of injuries, and the handling of distractions all reflect how seriously this organization approaches every detail. With 10 days separating now from kickoff, the challenge will be maintaining focus, protecting health, and making sure that when the moment arrives, the preparation speaks louder than the noise surrounding it. As the Patriots move deeper into Super Bowl week, the intensity ramps up, and every practice, every meeting, and every preparation session carries heightened significance. The team has been carefully calibrating workloads, making sure that the players are sharp but not overextended, understanding that the smallest misstep in this final stretch could have an outsized impact. When the game clock starts, the coaching staff has been balancing the need for rigor with the necessity of preserving energy, and that balance is delicate, especially with the Super Bowl looming on the horizon. On the offensive side, the focus has been on timing, precision, and execution under pressure. The quarterback has been working on reads, footwork, and ball placement, not just in scripted drills, but in scenarios that simulate high-stakes moments. Receivers are running routes with heightened attention to spacing and leverage, while the offensive line is refining communication and synchronization to ensure protection schemes hold up under the intensity of the Super Bowl spotlight. Every rep is amplified because the stakes are enormous, and there is no room for improvisation that could cost the team points or momentum. Meanwhile, the defense has been focused on cohesion and awareness, particularly with adjustments necessitated by the absence of a key captain due to an ankle injury. Communication and alignment have been emphasized. As the team cannot afford breakdowns in coverage or run defense, players are stepping into expanded roles, and the coaching staff is ensuring that responsibilities are clearly defined so that everyone knows their assignment on every down. Even subtle shifts in positioning or timing can change the outcome of a play, so attention to detail has never been higher. In practice, the intensity of the drills is matched by the mental rigor imposed on the players. They are not only executing plays but also processing information as quickly as possible, reading the opponent's tendencies, and adjusting in real time. The tempo of practice simulates the urgency of game day, and the players are being pushed to respond instinctively. The preparation is exhaustive, encompassing physical conditioning, tactical comprehension, and mental resilience. This approach is designed to ensure that when the Super Bowl arrives, the Patriots will be as prepared as any team in history to respond to the unexpected. The media presence throughout this week is relentless, and every interaction is scrutinized. The coaching staff and players are consistently asked about injuries, game plans, and player readiness, and each answer is evaluated and analyzed by a wide audience. While some questions can feel repetitive, they are an unavoidable part of the environment. The team has emphasized maintaining focus and not letting external narratives disrupt preparation. Players have been coached to compartmentalize these distractions, channeling energy into performance rather than speculation. For the quarterback, this week is both familiar and unprecedented. While he has experience managing high-pressure situations, the unique combination of media attention, logistical complexity, and the magnitude of the Super Bowl creates a level of mental strain that is difficult to replicate in any other context. He is taking measured steps to preserve both physical and mental sharpness, ensuring that by game day he is able to perform at the highest level. His mobility, throwing mechanics, and decision-making are all being monitored closely, with trainers and coaches providing real-time feedback. The team's veterans, including recent practice squad additions, play a critical role in this environment. Their experience with postseason intensity helps younger Players maintain perspective and composure by sharing insights about preparation, routines, and the subtle nuances of game day. They contribute to the overall readiness of the team. Even if these veterans are not expected to see significant playing time, their presence reinforces the structure, discipline, and mindset that the coaching staff has cultivated throughout the season. Off the field, logistical challenges are being managed with precision. Travel, accommodations, nutrition, recovery, and mental health are all coordinated to ensure that the players are in optimal condition. Super Bowl week is notoriously demanding, with schedules packed from early morning to late evening. The organization's attention to detail in managing these elements helps reduce stress on the athletes and allows them to focus on the execution of football at the highest level. Meanwhile, the defensive unit is navigating the implications of missing a key leader due to injury. Adjustments to personnel, communication responsibilities, and strategic approaches are being made to ensure the integrity of the defensive scheme remains intact. The coaching staff is preparing contingency plans to cover gaps, focusing particularly on the running game and situational defense. This planning underscores how every variable must be anticipated in order to minimize risk. During the actual game, the mental aspect of preparation cannot be overstated. Players are engaging in film, study, scenario planning, and strategic review, all while under the intense pressure that accompanies media scrutiny and the knowledge of the stakes. Visualization techniques, mental repetition, and focus drills are used to ensure that players can make the correct decisions instinctively, even under extreme pressure. The mental resilience built during these days will be as critical as physical execution once the game begins. Injuries, media obligations, and the physical demands of practice combine to create a grueling schedule that tests the endurance and focus of the entire roster. Yet the Patriots have consistently demonstrated a culture of preparation and adaptability that allows them to manage these challenges. Leadership on the team, both from established veterans and newly added experience, is reinforcing a mindset centered on discipline, accountability, and readiness. This culture is what separates preparation from chaos, ensuring that when the team steps onto the field, they are focused solely on executing at the highest level. Special attention has been given to refining execution under pressure. The offensive and defensive units are operating at a pace that simulates critical game situations, allowing players to react and adjust in real time. Drills are intense, competitive, and designed to reveal weaknesses before the opposing team can exploit them. The coaching staff's oversight ensures that corrections are immediate and that lessons are retained, reinforcing both tactical understanding and muscle memory by layering physical repetition with mental acuity. The team is building confidence and precision that will be essential on Super Bowl Sunday. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Your support helps us bring you the latest updates on the New England Patriots, and of course, drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from Patriots fans. A wave of unease has quietly swept through the Patriots organization after word began circulating about the departure of one of its players, a move that insiders are already calling deeply unsettling. While the team has kept official details to a minimum, the announcement itself was enough to ignite a storm of speculation across the league and among those close to the locker room. According to sources familiar with the situation, the decision did not come lightly. There is a sense that this separation goes beyond routine roster adjustments, hinting at deeper strategic or internal considerations. The Patriots, a franchise long associated with stability and careful planning, rarely make moves that surprise their own inner circle. That is precisely why this exit has raised so many eyebrows. Within the facility, the mood is described as tense and reflective. Teammates were reportedly caught off guard, with several believing the player in question was still very much part of the team's short-term vision. Some league observers suggest the departure may signal a philosophical shift, perhaps a recalibration of priorities as the Patriots attempt to redefine their identity. Others whisper about behind-the-scenes disagreements, though no concrete evidence has emerged to support such claims. What makes the situation even more dramatic is the timing. The Patriots are in a phase where continuity is often viewed as essential, and losing a familiar presence can disrupt chemistry both on and off the field. Fans, meanwhile, have been left to fill in the blanks, debating whether this move is a necessary sacrifice for future flexibility or a troubling sign of instability. For now, the Patriots' silence speaks almost as loudly as the announcement itself. Until more information surfaces, the departure remains shrouded in uncertainty. Fueling rumors that refuse to fade, one thing is clear: this is not just another name leaving the roster. It is a moment that could echo through the season, shaping narratives and expectations in ways no one fully anticipated. That's it for today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving fresh and exclusive Patriots news, make sure to subscribe and hit like. We always appreciate hearing your opinions in the comments. See you in the next one. Patriots Nation.